Boom. All right, what's going on, you guys? It's Royce Jacob. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Sunday Stock Watch, series I post on Sundays where I'll let you guys know what stocks I'm personally keeping an eye on going into the trading week. In this episode, we are going to be focusing on the crypto and cannabis sectors. Of course, we have been covering crypto a lot lately, and actually, as I record this on Sunday morning, Bitcoin is starting to see a pullback. As many of you know, we have been expecting this for a little bit now, so I'm excited to share with you guys my thoughts around this potential pullback and what that could mean for Bitcoin crypto related stocks. All right, so we will kick it off with crypto, touch on stocks like Riot, Mara, CurrencyWorks, and Overstock. Go down the watch list here, take a look at each of these on the charts, let you guys know what I'm thinking about potential price action. And then after crypto, we're going to move on to an old friend, cannabis. For some of you OGs, for some of you who have been around for a while, you may remember we used to talk about cannabis a lot. And I'm still very bullish on cannabis, you guys. Like at this moment in time, short term and medium term, I'm feeling really, really good about the cannabis sector. A few stocks specifically. We're going to touch on Aphria and SNDL in this episode. But of course, Canopy Growth, Cronos, there are a lot of good stocks in the cannabis sector. We're only going to be focusing on a few, but it's not as much the specific stocks that matter to me personally, it's the sector as a whole. And considering we may begin to see a correction in the cryptocurrency space, I do believe money, capital, whatever, will begin to flow out of the cryptocurrency space into other promising sectors. And cannabis, of course, being a revolutionary, being a very cutting edge sector, I think has a very high likelihood of capturing some of that excess capital that flows out of the cryptocurrency space. So we will go on to talk about that a little more. And yeah, I'm just excited to get into this with you guys. So as always though, before we do, I will ask you to please give the video a like if you do go on to gain value from it today. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here and want to catch more content like this. And of course, check out my complete portfolio daily newsletter, first link down in the description, if you want a complete breakdown of my entire portfolio that I do update every single trading day during market hours. With every update, I also send out an email newsletter explaining and rationalizing my thoughts. So as always, huge shout out to the portfolio newsletter fam. Really appreciate you guys, and I would appreciate it if you check that out. With these Sunday stock watches, I'm actually going to be making this video unlisted and sending out the video link a little early to the newsletter and portfolio family. So just a little extra cherry on top for you guys. I always try to make it that much more worth it for you guys. Of course, love to the YouTube. I'm still going to post it on YouTube, but again, this is just kind of that exclusive content if you guys are interested in it. So I appreciate it if you do. First link in the description. If not, as always, no worries at all. Let's get into the charts. Okay, so of course we will kick it off with Bitcoin and then move down the watch list here, as I said earlier. Bitcoin. I mean, right now, literally as I'm recording this right now, bouncing nicely off the low. So let's zoom in a little bit here. And as you can see, Bitcoin did see a pretty significant correction this morning. It came down as low as $34,200, nicely bounced. The reason you see it bounce so significantly off this is because this is the previous high that it set back on the 2nd of January. So you can see this high right around this area where it bounced perfectly off of, set back on the 2nd of January before seeing a dip, and then finally seeing this rally up to a high of about $42,000 just over the past couple of days. So it did come down, immediately bounced off of its previous high, which gives me reason to believe, in all honesty, from a technical perspective, that we could see this rally continue, just because it didn't come down, it didn't break below this previous high, which technically signifies an uptrend. Although it did break some of these trend lines, some of these ascending trend lines, on the short term, it's still signaling a medium to long-term uptrend. Okay, so I wouldn't be surprised personally, although again, we have been betting on a pullback. I've been calling for a pullback for a while. I have been wrong. I was wrong about 39K because we came, of course, all the way up to 42, but again, I'm doing my best. It's okay to be wrong sometimes. It's all right. You just keep moving forward, keep doing your best to read the charts. And in all honesty, I think we could see this rally continue. If we do, it would make sense to once again use this very strong line of resistance on the overall uptrend, which say we hit it on the 12th of January, just for the example where my cursor is landing right now, that would bring us to about over $44,000. Okay. So maybe we do continue this trend, maybe we break back up, maybe we come back, bounce on this area that has acted as a previous line of support and resistance on this medium-term uptrend, come up here, set a lower high, and then begin the short-term downtrend. Again, as you guys know, I'll keep saying this every time I talk about the pullback in Bitcoin, Riot, Mara, etc. I'm very, very long-term bullish on all these plays, as you guys know, but we're just so freaking overextended. If you like just looking at that, we've gone absolutely parabolic. FOMO's here. We're seeing everyone and their mom talking about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies right now. And just from, again, someone who's played so many bubbles in the past, just understands this hype FOMO cycle. At least I like to tell myself I do. Obviously called the top a little too early, but again, it just feels like we're due for a little correction. And again, you guys, still very long-term bullish. I love the fundamentals of the cryptocurrency space as a whole, but that doesn't mean that we don't see a healthy correction. Okay, so on the downside, again, if we do continue this downside correction, I will cover this over the course of the week, of course. But as I said in some previous videos, the corrections can happen very fast, you guys. It can happen in the snap of a finger. Like, things fall a lot harder and a lot faster than they can climb, so keep that in mind. We have climbed fast, but we can fall even faster, okay? So on the downside, it wouldn't surprise me to see, in all honesty, us test the top side of what was a very strong ascending channel for Bitcoin, which would bring us about just 30K, just call it 30K. I would be fairly comfortable accumulating Bitcoin around there. The more I think about it, though, the more this makes sense right here. This high that was set on December 26th prior to really kicking off a really strong rally, that would take us to the bottom side of this previous ascending channel. So the same ascending channel, this is the top side, this is the bottom side of support. And that would come down to about, if we tested this again, like on the 13th, 14th-ish, that would take us to about $28,000. So again, $28,000. I'd be comfortable personally accumulating some Bitcoin, maybe establishing more of a Bitcoin position around there. But if we come down that far, I do kind of hold steadfast in my initial price targets of about $24,000. $24,000 is still this area that acts as a very, very significant ceiling for Bitcoin, area of resistance for Bitcoin prior to its Christmas rally that we saw on Christmas Day. That really initiated, that catalyzed this parabolic movement that we've seen over the past few weeks now. So I do hold steadfast. We come down to 24K. I'm very comfortable establishing a Bitcoin position. Yeah, I mean, this is we're pretty much covering the same stuff again, you guys. I'm just repeating this for any of you guys who may be interested. I want to keep you guys posted with my thoughts on somewhat of a daily basis. So that is Bitcoin. Again, the reason I cover this is because it's so crucial for Bitcoin related stocks. If the cryptocurrency sector sees a pullback, it's very likely that stocks like Riot Blockchain, Marathon Patent Group see a pullback as well, because these two have been ripping. So again, price target of $20 for Riot and Mara, absolutely destroyed. Sold a little bit too early, but again, that's the game sometimes. That's the game. I've been here before. I'll be here again. That's okay. Okay. So Riot actually came up pretty nicely to this fib level that we were talking about a week or so ago. Again, fibs really come in handy when you get into that kind of blue sky territory. So it came up here again because we are seeing a correction today in Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency sector, and we're so overextended in both the Riot Blockchain and Marathon Patent Group. These things have gone even more parabolic than Bitcoin and some altcoins. It wouldn't surprise me at all. It would actually surprise me to not see a pullback on Monday or Tuesday at the latest. So again, I'm expecting a pullback. I've talked to you guys about my price targets on the downside many times, and I said I wouldn't really be talking about Riot and Mara, but I feel like you guys want to see it, so of course I'm going to talk about it. Whatever I make what you guys want to see. All right. So again, downside price target, I wouldn't be surprised if we come down, bounce off this top line of resistance a little bit, but then ultimately come down to correct. My price target for Riot, I think this is a very reasonable price target in all honesty on this again, beam-like ascending channel. It is an ascending channel, but it's going a little beam-like, so the drop is going to be a little more significant. This line of support is pretty low, and I think Riot, both Riot and Mara, are coming down to about $13.50 to $14. All right, so $13.50 to $14 Riot Blockchain and Marathon Patent Group. That is where I'm buying. That is where I'm comfortable buying. Maybe we do fall to my ultimate low price target of about $8.50. I think that's very possible in all honesty, because that is a very, very strong long-term, will be a strong long-term line of support that actually hasn't even come into play yet. But I really do believe will at some point in the future. So again, I'm comfortable buying Riot at about $13.50 to $14. Just call it $14, and I'm very, very comfortable buying Riot. I'm all in on Riot around $9. Moving on to Mara and then CWRK, which I'm actually, so CWRK and Overstock, I'm actually the opposite. And I'll explain to you guys why I almost feel the same, how I said capital flow from crypto, some of these crypto stocks into other sectors and other stocks. I think CWRK and Overstock are two examples of stocks that are in the cryptocurrency space, but could see some love, see some upside, because they've been on the underappreciated side of the crypto space. So I'll explain that when we get there, but let's talk Mara first. Mara, in all honesty, even more overextended than the Riot. Mara is, this chart is crazy, you guys. Just November 20th, just at the beginning, let's here. On December 15th, the beginning of December, we were at $5. Since then, we have 5x'd. So 5x in the span of a month, of less than a month, is always that is asking for a pullback. You're asking for a pullback. So again, I sold too early. All honesty, I'll be as transparent about that as I possibly can. But I still hold strong in my theory that we will ultimately come down to at least 1350. The thing about Riot and Mara, again, we've been talking about them playing catch up, them always kind of equalizing, them finding that balance with each other. Obviously, different companies, at different stages in their operations and whatnot, both very promising. Of course, you guys know I love both of these companies fundamentally. But again, it is just weird. It is weird how they're playing catch up, as we've been talking about over the past couple of weeks, and they have proven that. They both topped out almost at the exact 26.59 and 26.39. Like, that's about as close as it gets to playing catch up with each other. But again, because Mara is a more volatile stock, it has more rapid movements up and down. I do think it could fall a little harder than Riot. So that said, I do still think they'll both come down to about $13.50 to $14, which from this point, we'll just do a little price range because we didn't do it on Riot just to clear it up. So they both reached a high of about $28. If we see a correction down to just say $14-ish, that is a 50% correction. So, I mean, that's easy math right there, 28 to 14. That's about a 50% correction. But considering we've seen them rip so freaking hard, it wouldn't surprise me in the least to see that correction. So that would make sense as well, considering it does, like, that area lines up really nicely with right here, where we set this high December 22nd, December 28th. If we do come and test this lower line of support on this uptrend, on this ascending channel prior to that breakout, that would line up perfectly with this $14, like $13.50 to $14 region. So Riot and Mara, if I haven't said it enough times already, $14, I'm cool buying. But again, similar to, I think Mara could fall a little harder if we do see a significant correction. Test this ultimate line of support on this even more significant beam-like uptrend. So Riot was more like that. Mara is like almost like that. Okay, so again, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm comfortable personally buying at these levels. Of course, always do your own research, guys. This is not financial investment advice. But I wouldn't be surprised if it came down to $8 as well to test this overall line of support on the uptrend. Of course, prior to continuing the rally, I think Mara and Riot can both reach triple digits by the end of this year. But again, we're super overextended in the short term, and I think we're due for a pullback. So again, on the opposite side of the spectrum, CWRK and Mara. CurrencyWorks, again, you guys, this market cap, this has a $30 million market cap. Riot and Mara are currently at $1 billion. I remember when, Riot and Mara I remember when they were like sub 100 million way back when we first started talking about them. But I mean, $30 million market cap. I love that. You guys know I love small market caps just because it takes less capital inflow to appreciate the individual share price. So because CurrencyWorks, while Riot and Mara, like stocks like Bitcoin miners like Riot and Mara ripping, a stock like CurrencyWorks, which is more involved in kind of the altcoin DeFi, I'll just say altcoin side of it, like they help companies create altcoins and stuff. I do recommend you guys go watch my CWRK, my specific CWRK analysis video that I posted last week if you haven't already and you're interested in this. But CWRK looking pretty solid technically. It did break out of this line of resistance on this overall uptrend. It was an ascending channel. Broke out, saw a super significant rally from like 55 cents all the way up to almost $1, so almost a 2x in a day. Corrected pretty significantly since then. What I'm seeing here is also like kind of a bull flag. So of course a bull flag, you guys, flagpole and then the descending triangle making the bull flag. It would make sense to me that we see a breakout in CWRK again as money flows out of some stocks like Riot and Mara. Obviously, there's still so much potential in the crypto space. There's still a lot of attention on the crypto space. I think that money could flow out of stocks like Riot and Mara into more promising plays within the space, like CWRK. And again, it does not take much to skyrocket CWRK. So at the very least from CWRK, again, you guys keep in mind this could still correct because it is still a crypto related stock. And again, although all these plays don't move perfectly in unison, they do still hold some semblance of correlation, of course. Okay, so this is just my thought. This is just a thought that's crossing my mind. I am hopeful for this, of course. I'm biased for this to happen, but keep in mind this could not play out. So this overall line of resistance, very steep uptrend here. December 4th, we were at about 25 cents. Of course, going to $1 on January 4th, and that set this very steep line of resistance. If we see a spike up this week, that could take us to $1.30 at the end of at the end of the month. Say we test this at the end of the month. Say it takes a little bit longer. That would take us to about $1.60. But again, you guys keep in mind, this stock has such a low market cap that I mean, if the right amount of capital wants to come in here and flows in, that could shoot this thing straight up to double digits. And again, I do think this stock, CWRK, has the potential to like 20 to 30x over the course of this year. Just again, combination of a good company, cool fundamentals, interesting concept, small market cap, and low share price. Okay, so CWRK, I am personally very bullish on CWRK going into this week, but hey, we'll see what happens. I have been wrong before. You guys know that better than anyone else. So Overstock is an interesting one that we also talked about a lot, but haven't in a while. So Overstock, just to keep it simple right now, is printing like the most massive bull flag I've ever seen. Okay, so Overstock, of course, rallied significantly. It's interesting to me that Overstock hasn't been seeing love over the course of this cryptocurrency rally. Obviously, it did see some crazy love even before the rally significantly kicked off. So that definitely, I think, plays a factor. But back in 2017, we saw the Bitcoin, Ether, just the 2017-2018 crypto bull market. Overstock popped off. That's when Overstock really saw a rally because they have a subsidiary called Medici Ventures, which is a crypto, like that's their crypto arm. They make crypto investments. They own T0, which is a crypto exchange. So it's surprising to me that they haven't been seeing much love lately. But on top of the fact that I do once again believe capital will begin to flow out of stocks that have been ripping like Riot and Mara into underappreciated aspects of the cryptocurrency sector. I think Overstock, on top of having this technical, this bullish technical pattern, which is a bull flag, like the most technically bullish pattern in my opinion. We've seen a lot of bull flags over the past few months, guys. I think it's very likely that Overstock sees a bounce up. Where to? I'm not exactly sure, but I do believe that Overstock will ultimately break out of this very long-term bull flag, and their company's still solid too. Like Overstock, it's kind of like they're like home furnishing Amazon-ish. It's kind of hard to describe, or I just never described it before. It's not hard to describe. You guys probably know what Overstock is as a company. But again, I think that their crypto arm is really going to start to shine as, again, money flows out of these other stocks. So I do expect Overstock, just to sum it up right now, close it out with Overstock, I do expect it to break out of this bull flag and obviously see some nice upward momentum, and I do think we could see another rally in Overstock. See this first one, the good old two-wave theory. We haven't talked about that in a while. Two-wave. You see the first wave, you see the bubble pop, you see capitulation, and then we'll see the second wave. So I do think we could see a second wave in Overstock, and it will be exciting to see how that plays out. Okay, so moving on, let's go down the watch list to the cannabis sector, which again we haven't talked about in a while. I'm just pumped to do this. So again, Canopy Growth, Tilray, Aurora Cannabis, Cronos, all interesting plays, but the two plays that I'm the most excited about right now are Aphria and Sundial. Okay, so Aphria just looking solid. Aphria is my, like, from a financial perspective, I think Aphria is like by far, bar none, the most financially sound company in the cannabis sector. I think it's a safe bet. Aphria is one of the only stocks that's below its IPO price at the moment too. So Aphria actually IPO'd back in 2018 at about $12. It did see a spike up, but immediately dropped because that's when the cannabis bubble popped. So cannabis bubble of 2018, you guys, for those of you who don't know, I did play that. I made for me a lot of money off of that, and again, I'm a fundamental believer in cannabis, especially considering we're seeing this blue wave come in. We're seeing a Biden presidency. We're seeing so many states open up from a regulatory perspective to marijuana. That's good news. And we keep printing. If people keep getting money, they're going to want to buy some weed. Okay, so Aphria, again, from a technical perspective, on the short medium term time frame, I do really expect Aphria to come up and test the short term line of resistance on this uptrend. You're seeing higher highs, higher lows. You'd love to see that. So again, this one set October 9th, this touch point set at the end of November. It only makes sense to me that Aphria comes up to once again test this, see this next wave up, see this next move up, and that would bring us to about $11.50. If we do it once again, test this more medium-term uptrend, which is very, very likely in my opinion. And again, even if we do reach this level, even if we do reach 1150, say by the end of January, we would still be below Aphria's IPO price. And like, keep in mind, you guys, very competent individuals set IPO prices for the most part. It has gotten a little skewed over 2020 just because it's been such a wild year of IPOs and just in the markets. But I think Aphria, fair value, you look at their financials, you look at their financials, which is what dictates fair value. I think $12 is a very fair value for Aphria, and especially considering we could see another bull run, another bull market for cannabis. I think Aphria could do significantly better. Aphria has a lower market cap than a lot of these other plays as well, at only $2.7 billion. So there's a lot of room for growth there. And again, Aphria is my personal favorite company from just a sound perspective. I personally think it's the safest investment in cannabis, and I'm very bullish on it from both a fundamental and technical perspective. So let's close it out with Sundial. Sundial is objectively a riskier play, you guys. Similar to CurrencyWorks. This is if you're talking about plays in the cannabis space, this is a pretty risky play. But it has a smaller market cap. It has a market cap of $475 million, which you guys know I like. A lot of these other plays are $2 billion plus. And this, considering it has a significantly smaller market cap, Sundial is a cool company. They are making progress. Their financials aren't the best, in all honesty, which is what initially turned me off of Sundial a while back. But it's kind of similar to Aphria. These technicals are looking very, very solid. So again, Sundial is in an overall uptrend. It has 2 points of contact right here on this that I use to mark this line of resistance on this overall uptrend. Boom, November 9th right here, December 1st. Being a little conservative there, you could actually move that up more, but I'm just being safe using this touch point too on November 30th and December 1st. And I think it's very likely that we see Sundial see another rip up. And again, it won't take much capital to rip this thing up to test this line of resistance, which is very important to understand. Once again, that's the beauty of small market caps. So again, higher highs, higher lows. You love to see it. Great, like that's what you love to see as a trader, as a swing trader, especially higher highs and higher lows on a medium-term time frame. I think it's very likely we come up to test this line, give this a third test, get the hat trick out there, which would take Sundial up to about $1.50. And again, you guys, I do think, like everything else aside, I just think it's cannabis's time to shine. It's seen these rallies. It obviously has hype around it. Again, the blue wave is obviously the greatest fundamental driver and the fundamental catalyst for the cannabis market. So I think there's just a lot of stars aligning for cannabis right now. I'm very bullish on cannabis, and like crypto, I think cannabis can see a bull run in 2021 as well. And I'm getting ready. Okay, so once again, if you guys do want to know exactly how I'm trading all the stocks we just talked about, plus more, there's a lot of other exciting plays that I'm excited about as well right now too. First link in the description. Join the portfolio newsletter fam. Again, you will get the link early. This is the first time I'm trying it, so I hope you guys, if you are part of the newsletter fam, I hope you do appreciate that. Again, I'll give you guys the video a few hours early prior to posting it to the YouTube audience. So yeah, first link in the description if you want to check it out. I appreciate you guys watching this far. If you have, this was a long one, but I really do like these. I like just sitting down, talking shop with you guys, looking at charts and just rapping. All right, so as always, you guys, drop some comments down below. Let me know what you thought about any of the stocks we talked about today. Let me know if you think Riot Mars is still gonna rip. Let me know if you like CWRK. Let me know if you like Sundial, Aphria, if you're bullish on cannabis like I am. Whatever you guys want to talk about, I love to hear it. All right, so I'll catch you downstairs, and until next time, always remember, take action, make waves. Peace.